Are you looking for 4 brand new, kept in the shadows side hustles that literally anyone can do from the comfort of their own home? Well, good, because you stumbled on the right video. Each of these 4 side hustles is completely different than the last, and I'm gonna share a side hustle that made me 20K in a single month without starting an agency or doing a dropshipping store. So grab a notebook and get ready to take some serious notes. No, but seriously, the first side hustle is AI. It's only been around the past 6 months, and you can make money online. People are doing it right now through a service called Fiverr, where you're providing personalized AI voiceovers. In the era of advanced technology, artificial intelligence is becoming more and more prevalent. The voiceover services are in super high demand.
And you can capitalize on this trend by offering personalized AI voiceovers for businesses and things like audiobooks.
Picture this. You've got an amazing voice. Well, your AI robot does.
And businesses are dying to have their message sprouted out in an awesome, cool, entertaining way.
Think epic commercials, think social media video ads, think mind-blowing explainer videos. All that, you are gonna be the voice that sets their business apart from everyone else in the crowd and blows up their sales. What are you gonna charge for these carefully created AI voiceovers? Well, you've got a couple options. Project-based pricing is probably the route you wanna go for this. If you go to Fiverr, you do a quick search for voiceovers, you can see that people are charging on Fiverr from $5 to a few $100s per voiceover project that they are doing. What's important for how you're gonna make money on this is like how you're gonna separate yourself against the competition and offer something that's like really cool and unique. A video just went viral on YouTube for a Lord of the Rings trailer done by AI, and it's in the style of like a Wes Anderson movie.
Meet Frodo Baggins, an unassuming hobbit, chosen for an extraordinary task. Guided by the enigmatic wizard Gandalf, Frodo embarks on a captivating journey with a colorful crew.
I'd check that out down below. You watch that, it's sick, it's funny, it's cool, and it's creative, and you can make that in your bedroom, or you can offer services like that, and maybe you could probably offer that same style video, but using real life people, and offer it for like people's birthdays and weddings and things like that, where you're taking people's faces and animating them and putting them in movies. Or
do you wear wigs?
No, I do not.
Have you worn wigs?
No, I have not.
Will you wear wigs?
Maybe.
When will you wear wigs?
So the major upside with this one is that it's brand new. There's not a lot of competition. You could be at the forefront of this. The downside is that you are gonna have to invest some money into the softwares to create these products. I know there's a website called Syntheses, which only costs $39 a month, and you can use that to create the voiceover projects with.
As we approached the end of the pavement, a couple thugs, the locals called them choros.
And it's super simple, and it sounds pretty good in my opinion. If you wanna hear what that sounds like, it sounds like this.
Are you ready to meet your digital doppelganger? Let's dive into the future of digital identity together.
Which is f***ing creepy, I know, but like, hey, if you're a capitalist, you can probably make money off this. Now, let's move on to side hustle number 2. This one is somewhat personal to me. This is real estate, videography, and photography. This is an awesome side hustle if you are a creative person, kind of that left brain analogy person. Back in 2018, I started an SMMA, and for 2 years, I made $10,000, which is 50% below the poverty line, so double impoverished. And yeah, I was a brokey.
You're broke! You're fucking poor!
It wasn't until 2020 when I basically gave up on this SMMA model, and I took an internship at a sales and marketing company. An internship, which means I'm not being paid. And the owner of that company basically said like,
hey, I know you're not making any money, but I know you can make good videos. Why don't you email some local businesses to see if they'll buy videos off you, and so you can have enough money to eat?
And I was like, cool, that's a great idea. I emailed 100 local realtors. I don't know why I chose realtors, I just did. I got meetings with 3 of them. All 3 of them closed. And by the end of that week, I was making $6,800 a month just providing videography services to these realtors. And so like the main benefit of this model is that you get to be creative. It's like actually fun. You get to go out and you film all sorts of things, and you have an excuse to kind of go out and do these cool projects and go to these cool places.
It's hard to breathe right now. But I do it for the content. You gotta do it for the content, guys.
The main negative with this side hustle, of course, is you have to have an initial investment of equipment. Nowadays, I've seen people in this industry who will literally film things on one of those iPhones with a gimbal and go ahead and do that. So chances are you already have an iPhone. I think one of those gimbals are like $200 or $300. And of course, after that, you're gonna have assets that you can sell afterwards if you decide to go into a different model. It's not like you can't resell the equipment. The third side hustle is remote closing, and boy, do I have a lot to say about this one. I actually transitioned away from my real estate marketing agency and moved into remote closing in March of this year, so around 4 months now. And there's a few reasons for that. First off, like, what is remote closing? Remote closing is where you are taking pre-booked sales calls on another business's calendar, and your job is to close out on those sales. Again, emphasis on the pre-booked part. A huge issue with the agency model is that you're responsible for the lead generation. A quick search through YouTube basically shows that every video on this topic is focused on lead generation, sourcing meetings, getting appointments. I had to cold call to get appointments, which was the bane of my existence. Who runs the social media? Who would have reached out to me in the first place?
It would be myself, and I just don't know how I would have done that.
Oh, okay. While I have you on the phone, I might as well, just maybe it'll jog your memory.
He is. He's just with a customer at the moment. Can I take a message and have him call you back?
Could you let him know that Ethan Ashley called?
But I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt. You're boring. You don't sound Nigerian at all. So go and fuck yourself.
I know it made good YouTube content, but it was just, I hated it. 80% of my time was just focused on generating new appointments. Well, with remote closing, you don't have to do any of that. Guys like Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, even Eman Gadzi, they have these online programs that need to be sold. And do you think that they're taking those sales calls themselves? Hell no. So they hire salespeople that can take the calls for them, close out on the deal, and grow their business. And so the way the income was explained to me by my friend Aaron, who at the time was also running a real estate marketing agency, and he's like, hey, there's like
this other thing over here we should probably check out.
What he was saying was that here's what industry averages look like in this space. At a 10% commission rate, with 5 calls that a salesperson is taking per day, and a 20% close rate on a $10,000 offer, you'd be making $1,000 per sale and $20,000 per month. Now, at the time, I was already taking like 3 to 4 sales calls with realtors to close them out on these offers and products. But you have to keep in mind, like, once you sign a client on a retainer, they're not there for like the rest of your life. They might be there for like 3 months, 90 days tops. And then so you have to work out, like, what does that actually net in your pocket after you take out expenses of hiring out contractors and employees. And once I did that math and I broke it down and I broke it around like the amount of extra effort and time I was investing into each client to reap the rewards, it was not marginally significant enough for me to justify continuing that path. And so back to the numbers, that monthly income number goes up when your commission percentage goes up, which typically goes up the longer you're with a company, and they give that to you as like a bonus of a percentage of being there over time. And then that number also goes up when you get better at this skill, your closing rate goes up. So me closing out on these real estate deals, I was doing anywhere between 30 to 35% close rate in my agency. And so when he was presenting these numbers to me at a 20% close rate, I was like, man, like, I could suck at this and I could still make good money. I could remove all this other stuff that I was doing in the agency, just take it all out there and just focus on this one thing, sales, which is what I liked doing. Like, among other things, I like doing videos, I like movies, like I like these things, but like I really was interested in sales. I have more sales books in my library than any other book. That just seemed really appealing to me. Like, I could make the same amount of money I was doing now, but just like remove 90% of the stuff. Yeah, so that's kind of my story in a nutshell. I'm gonna put in the first link in the bio a link to a video on remote closing, just kind of the basics of like what it is and how you can get started. And it's held by my partner Cole inside of this business that I'm now a partner in called Closers.io. So yeah, you can go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, let's get into side hustle number 4. Side hustle number 4 is another creative one. As you can tell, I like to veer towards more creative stuff, and that's AI art. Back in 2018, I made Photoshop art for like a year. I would make composites and stitch them all together, and I would sell that artwork to wallpaper companies, and then I would get a royalty every month from anyone who downloaded my wallpaper, and it was making me a couple $100 a month continuously for like years. It was pretty dope. And now you can do the exact same thing, but not have any of the talent, which is pretty ludicrous. I'm glad I'm not doing that now, because I would just get absolutely
destroyed.
There's a bunch of softwares that you can use out there right now to make this kind of stuff. Right now, I've been dabbling in Midjourney. It's around $10 a month, and you can make the most like beautiful art in the world. I think this AI art just won an art competition in like New York or something like that, which again is just like mind-boggling. Most people thought that AI would replace creativity as like the last wave, but AI is replacing creativity as like the first wave, which is again just insane. People are already making thousands of dollars from their own bedrooms just selling AI art for people like animated profile pictures, Dungeons and Dragons mock-ups, interior design inspiration. Like there's so much that like you can delve into. And again, this is brand new. You can be the innovator in this, the one that makes the $30, $40, $50,000 months because you're doing something that no one else is doing. The disadvantage to this one is the AI learning curve. Like you're gonna have to invest a good chunk of time just to get the skill sets needed to be able to provide artwork that people are actually willing to pay for. Now, granted, not nearly as much time that I had to spend learning Photoshop, okay? In comparison, the learning curve is way less, but you're still gonna need some kind of curve. Which way does yours curve? Basically, your goal with this is the right balance between AI and human touch. I follow a lot of AI artists who have like their own style with AI art, which is really unique because they're compatible with these computers, but you can tell it's made from them, which is like really cool and really unique. That's just gonna take hours, days, weeks, whatever, for you to find your own kind of style in that mesh. Guys, we're trying to exceed Eman Gadzi in views and destroy the algorithm. And in order for us to just kill Eman Gadzi, you have to smash the like button. Okay, I hope you like this. Thanks. Bye.